One of the most important skills you can have as a shooter is connecting cause with effect. Um, a lot of people call this shot calling. I don't like to think. I don't love that term so much because people view shot calling as a skill that they need to specifically develop, and they tend to limit their thinking to just visual stuff when they talk about shot calling. Like, oh yeah, I saw the sight lift off that part of the target, so I know where that bullet's going. That's most people think about shot calling that way. I like to think about it in a more expansive sense, like I'm connecting cause with effect in all sorts of different ways, not just visually. So, for example, like if you're one of the types of people that you're holding your gun, and then as you try to shoot really aggressively, maybe you torque your elbow up and start like clamping down with your firing hand and torquing into the gun as you try to shoot faster and faster. That's not necessarily a shot calling thing, but as far as a cause and effect relationship, where it's like, oh, in my head, when I try to shoot really aggressively, this is the habit that comes out, or this is what I actually do, and then I'm going to train to change that habit into the one that I want. That sort of thinking, where it's like the cause and effect relationship could be all sorts of different stuff. Just depends on you and what you're doing. When you think about it in those terms, I think it makes a lot more sense, and it's going to solve a lot more problems for you than just thinking about shot calling as a visual thing, where it's like, oh, I saw where the sight was when the gun went off. If you open up your awareness as far as to everything that your body's doing while you're shooting, you're going to get a lot more answers that way, as far as like, oh, like I do this thing in my back when I try to draw really fast, or as I'm shooting, like maybe the sights are doing what you want, but your support hand starts slipping off the gun and leaving the gun, causing your dominant hand to react, and like go down some spiral where you start doing things that you don't want to do or don't intend to do as far as your shooting. Right. So I think like the way that I talk about this stuff is like I don't hear many people talk about it in this way. I think that's what frustrates me, is that people like they have a very narrow focus as far as the stuff that they want to look at. And I think really what you should do is, again, open up your awareness while you're shooting, pay attention to what's actually happening, and start to understand cause and effect relationships, not just for other people, but for yourself. Like when you push yourself in a certain way, when you try to do a certain thing, open up your awareness and try to understand what's happening, because that's giving you the clues that you need to train. That's what I got for you this morning. Questions, comments, put it below.